to the video podcast. My name is Kailey, in case you haven't seen any of the other ones. But today I have a special guest, and his name is...
Luke Butler.
Cool. So, Luke, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself by saying whatever you want, anything, and a fun fact.
Okay. I'm Luke. I'm 20 years old. I graduated high school at Sun Valley, and I currently attend University of Houston, and I major in media production.
So Luke is in his element then, on camera. Cool. All right, and do you have a fun fact about yourself?
Fun fact would be that I was born in Dallas, Texas. So I'm Texas born and now Texas
now
raised.
Back.
Yeah.
Super cool. Okay, awesome. So today we are going to talk about chapter 4 in this book, and that is called Learn to Make Friends Now. So as y'all know, as you go off to college, you're going to have to make a whole new set of friends, which is kind of intimidating, kind of hard, but it's also really cool and very, I feel like, refreshing to get like a whole new set of people in your life. A few things that the chapter talks about is that making new friends is going to require effort and intentionality on your part. So it's important to learn how to do that now and start making new friends now so that you can be prepared for your freshman year or whatever you're doing after high school. So being at school in Texas, was that weird or hard, or what was it like having a whole different like frame of reference, like everything you've known for 18 years here, and then going there, and then neither of the two worlds collide at all? Yeah. What was that like?
It was really crazy at first because, yeah, like you said, there's no connection between the two. So I had to pretty much start from scratch and learn a whole different city and how they live life, because to them, University of Houston, everyone comes from that area. So there's no like outside people like me. So there was barely anyone from like North Carolina or like outside places except for like maybe Oklahoma or Arkansas, like real close by. So I had to adjust to how they lived life because they were all from Houston and they all grew up 30 minutes away. So I kind of had to adjust how I like saw them, I guess. I had to just adapt to a new way of life basically. And it was not hard to make new friends. They all accepted me pretty well. And yeah,
I am in the same boat because since I go to school in California, it was like North Carolina, let alone Charlotte, was like a foreign country, and I didn't know anyone there except one person who was from Asheville. But they all have these weird stereotypes.
Yeah, they do. Okay. No, yeah.
And they like ask you the weirdest questions, and you're just like, no, that's not what it's like. But I mean, it is super different. So I know a lot of people stay local, so that part might not be as applicable to you. But when you do go to school far away, it's a weird thing to learn to have to understand almost a whole new culture.
Yeah. And
meet new friends.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely worth it though.
Oh,
because
for sure.
When I come home, it's really cool to just think that I found a whole new city, and I know a whole new city now and everything about there. So that was really cool.
And so you just got back from a vacation or trip to Texas, but I think your mom said you took like some of your high school friends to meet your college friends. Yeah. That's probably the best feeling ever.
It was great, and it's a little stressful at times because you don't know how they're gonna react or get along. But I actually had one of those friends I brought. He came last November.
Oh, okay.
And stayed with me, so they kind of already knew him.
Okay.
Some of them did, but some of them didn't. So they were really glad to see the one, and then meet the others. It was also really cool for them.
Fun.
But yeah, they all got along, and it was a great time.
That's awesome. When looking for new friends, or just friends in general, what are your go-to things to look for in a friend?
I think in a friend, I like them to be like kind of spontaneous to where if you like ask them something to do, like at any time they'll be like, I'm down, or let's go. And I like that, and just someone who's able to adapt to different environments, like one of my friends that I took to Houston, where he was just wherever he goes, it's like he knows how to act and he knows what to do, and so it's good to have that. And I think also a sense of humor. I think if you can not be serious all
Right.
the time, but then also know when to be serious. I think
Yeah.
that's definitely a good quality to have with a friend.
For sure. I was actually just telling my mom that the other day that one of the biggest things I appreciate about people is when they're like spontaneous, because
Yeah.
it just shows that they're like really invested in your friendship.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to be like, let's plan this for 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And
I feel like those are the plans that never work.
Right.
It's only the ones that are spontaneous.
Yeah.
And I think that shows that they want to live life and have fun, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I think it's really hard when people aren't like that for me, because then you
Yeah.
kind of want to like
Right.
itch them to do it, but they just won't. So
Yeah.
I like to have that quality in people.
Yeah. And so in saying that to my mom, I was thinking I need to learn to be more like that. Because if I like that about somebody, people probably like that too.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
the next question, how do you balance meeting friends and making friends and having friends with people that are different from you and with people that are similar to you?
That's a great question. And I think for myself, I like to have a balance of each, because I feel like if I had a bunch of people around me that were exactly like me, it would not be fun at all. And I definitely have a lot of friends now. Even my best friend is he's very different from me, just because if you're one way and you have a friend that's different, maybe more like stuck to the rules or less spontaneous, then it can help you out and help you grow in that area instead of being the same, because if you're different from them, it gives you a different perspective on things. So definitely I think balancing that out and having friends that you can go to about things that you enjoy and that have very similar interests to you, but also going to friends that are very different from you and have different perspectives. I think that can help a lot.
Definitely. All right, Luke, what do you think a healthy balance is for people to have of Christian and non-Christian friends?
I think to have that balance between non-Christian and Christian friends, you have to have a group of people where you can go to that can pour into you and you can pour into them, and that share the same beliefs as you, so that you can kind of grow on that and grow your faith and get to know God more. But also have the friends that aren't exactly like you and come from different beliefs and areas, which is very prevalent in Houston, because everyone comes from something different, and it's not all just like North Carolina, how all my friends are Baptist, and and how I grew up with those friends in the church. Yeah, and so it was definitely different finding that in between of groups, but once I found a good church and Young Life, it helped me find people that could pour into my life, and getting into small groups, but also having the people that you can kind of disciple to, but not in a evasive way to make them seem uncomfortable, but just to have those friends and have them see the light that you're showing.
For sure. I was explaining that to someone the other day, that you are gonna shine the light of Christ if you're a believer, like no matter what.
Definitely.
So even if you're not directly sharing the gospel with somebody, like all of your friends and the people around you will notice that. But like you said, it is important to have that grounded friend group too, so you can go back to them, just like you said. So Luke, the last question I have for you, how do you go about balancing academics and community and making friends in college?
So I think the best way to balance those things is, one, you could try and put them all together. And a big thing in college is definitely studying and doing homework. It takes up a lot of your time. So I think the best way to do that is to find people that you can do that with. And even if it's not even the same subjects, you can just sitting there being with them. And that happened all the time, to where you're just in the same room and you can just study. You don't even have to talk, but just making those bonds and friendships, it really helps to have that together. But I think outside of that would be just getting your work done first, and you can just sit down and knock it out as fast as you can, to give yourself more opportunity to go out and meet new people and have fun. But I think it starts with finding community and studying in the academics, because then you can grow on that and always have that grounded.
I think it's awesome. I think college is just kind of weird if you think about it, because you have like the most amount of work, or you're supposed to, some people don't, that you've ever had. And then you also have this whole new like culture and world and social life that you have to develop. So it's just like everything is increasing, but yes, when you do sit down, if you don't procrastinate and you get it done, you'll be set. So I think that's good. Do you have any last words or closing comment to leave the seniors, soon to be college freshmen, with?
I'd just like to say that don't let going somewhere new scare you. Definitely look into it. Even if it's not your thing, look into it and see if you can, find a new adventure. Because I think it's definitely worth it. And a lot of the friends I've met, it's been great and learning a whole different environment. So definitely try that out. But if it's not for you, that's okay.
Yes.
But definitely try it out.
Yeah, super smart. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning back into the Before You Go podcast. And like we said, this is Luke and I am Kailey, and I will see you next time with a different guest.
Have a good night.